Hello and welcome to Most Haunted Extra. This week we're in Devon, in the middle of nowhere, in this beautiful old pub, the Old Church House Inn.
There's the old church.
Quite a few of us have had a bit of a restless night.
A few of the crew members got allocated haunted rooms where we had to stay.
I was in room 15, which is up in the attic, and at one point I woke up with a start thinking that someone was watching me.
That's one of the phenomenon. That's one of the things that's been seen in here.
Which was a little bit unnerving.
I think Rachel's heard of some dragging, and Stuart thinks he's had his covers pulled off him, so we haven't even started filming and stuff's already happening. So I think it's going to be, well, hopefully it's going to be a really interesting day and night.
It's going to be a little bit difficult doing an investigation here because we've spent the night here, because it's a very small bar area, the rooms are quite small inside, we all feel sort of acclimatised to it. I honestly don't think it's a location where people are going to be running around screaming. I'll be very surprised if that's the case. I for one feel quite quite brave. I think I might journey off on my own, she said. We shall see, but it looks good. It's very nice.
Look here, the Old Church House Inn, 13th century. What a place this is. There's a bit on the side here that actually is believed to go back to Saxon times. It was built by the people that were going to build the church, and right in front of me over here is the most incredible church. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. I mean, look at it. It's white.
The ghost stories here, again, are superb. They're fantastic.
There's footsteps, there's poltergeist activity, and we've got this incredible story of a murder, possibly by no less than Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who came to this pub and apparently stole the book Hound of the Baskervilles from the original writer.
Personally, I think it's quite a big thing to kill someone just for a story of a book, but hey, if, crazy things have happened in this world. They're taking this so seriously. There are people coming here to drill into the ground and drill through the lead-lined coffin that Barton Robinson is buried in, to take a piece of his remains to do some DNA testing and see if he was actually murdered. So with all of that, I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. This place is beautiful. I think it's going to be a good investigation. I really do, and I've got high hopes for it.
I've just done my walk around with the crew. It was very interesting. There seems to be a couple, I think, of dominant energies here. I'm getting a woman in here. She's a young woman, and she's quite flirtatious. It's like a chambermaid type character, or a maid, or she's a real worker, this one. She's sort of wafting around with towels in her hand. It's like she's changing towels and things.
What does she look like facially?
She's got a very small face, very petite face. But she's a bit of a fusser. So she'll fuss around making sure everything's done and dusted, really. Literally done and dusted. There's still this impression of family up here as well. There's one man, and he's appearing, not menacing, he's not evil or anything like that, but very authoritative. Extremely so, very sort of bossy. I think she's kind of looking after him.
And they're both connected, you're saying? She's kind of looking after him?
Yeah.
Why are they here? Well, why are they?
Well, she's visiting, so she comes and goes. He seems to be... The words I'm going to say are in charge. He seems to be in charge.
Now, Kath stayed in this room last night.
Right.
And she experienced some phenomena. Okay. So, again, is it the same person that's causing that phenomenon?
The only thing I've got here is, it's an old one, an oldie but goodie. He's tugging on bedclothes. Again, attention. Give me attention. And audibles to wake you up, so it might be voice in the ear, or maybe tapping on wood or something, anything to get attention.
Yeah. That's what happened last night. They were hearing loud knocking.
Knocking noises.
And that apparently that is heard. It's quite loud, banging noises in this room.
I think it's the same one. I can't pick up on... there's two strong males. There is this weaker female. I don't mean that derogatory. I mean she's just energetically she's weaker. It just seems to be concentrated on those two characters.
Okay. So, who would have visited Stuart last night, do you reckon?
Stuart doesn't look like a kind of soul to me that needs looking after. Do you know what I mean? Looks like he could take care of himself. But there seems to be this presence looking over and looking after him, which may have felt like being watched, and perhaps Stuart might have felt touches, and a bit of audible. That's all I can really say.
Stuart, do you want to explain what happened to you?
Yeah, basically what happened was, I was actually laying on this side of the bed last night, and there was a sense of I was struggling to breathe, if you like, and then the room went very cold.
Right.
And at the same time, the quilt actually got pulled off me.
Okay. So you think it's this woman?
Yeah, it certainly looks. It feels more feminine energy than male to me.
So you've got a bit of a love interest maybe there, Stuart?
Possibly.
No?
There's an education about one of them, about the monk in particular, and I'm very much looking forward to making his acquaintance later. So let's see what unfolds.
What else? What other phenomena do you think people would experience here?
I definitely know there's apparitions, because that's what it feels like to me. If I close my eyes, I see pictures.
What do you see? Tell me what you see.
This either hooded man or his hood down. So this is the monk character, and I see him a lot.
Can you describe
I
his
can only
face?
see half of him.
Oh.
Funny enough, at the moment, I can actually, from the body up, somebody's obviously viewed him from the body up and not seen the bottom part of him.
Right.
Because this is how he's appearing to me.
Facially?
I don't get anything striking other than his eyes.
Right.
I see his eyes,
Big
almost
eyes.
big eyes,
Right.
staring. Another strange thing that's going through my mind is the sound of water running.
Right.
But I don't know if it's under the building or... But I feel... This might sound really off, but I'm going to just say it.
Yeah.
Blood. Why, I don't know. But blood running.
From where?
Somewhere up here. I'm actually hearing somebody saying we miss Richard. Do you indeed? Who's Richard? Richard's gone.
Right.
Connections to London. Working in the city.
When you say you're hearing somebody say that,
Yeah.
is it a male voice, female voice saying it?
This is totally different. It's nothing to do with the old stuff that I was picking up with
This
sort
is
of
something
monks. This
modern?
is something modern.
To do with us?
No. No, it's not as I'm asking, and I'm thinking,
To
is
do
it,
with
is
the
it our
building?
Richard? It's not. It's to do with the building.
Right.
And there's a lady here connecting to somebody, past owners maybe.
Right.
I've just been on a vigil with Gordon, Wigan, John and Yvette, and it was fantastic. It was really interesting. It was almost like formed an alliance with this particular soul, this monk.
Please, if you could blow the candle out, we would be very, very happy. Blow the candle out.
They've not got any breath.
Okay.
They can still energetically make
Can
it
you
go out.
energetically make the candle blow out, please?
This is a bizarre thing. I've never sat with my hands down like this
Yeah.
on the table before, but yeah.
Can you relight the candle once it's been blown out?
Yeah. Yeah, say it a bit.
You can't do it.
Tables
If you
off.
can't blow it out, then they can't. Could you relight the candle for us?
No, that would be a thing.
No, wouldn't that be amazing?
Great.
Could you please light the candle for us?
Jeez, this is mad with the hands this way up.
Yeah.
My gosh!
I know.
I mean, there's no way. I mean, my knuckles are on the table.
Look,
nothing
I've
else.
hardly got my hands on here.
Yeah.
I know.
Please, can you relight the candle for
It's
us?
gone all over the place.
Relight the candle.
Why would that start again the instant the candle goes
Yeah,
out?
that's
weird,
bizarre.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is
Yeah.
bizarre.
Can you relight the candle for us, please? Please, friend, if you're here, please relight the candle. Or move something else around us. Let us hear you. I've hardly got my hands on that.
Me too. It's just there.
For me, it was phenomenal because of the way in which the table at one point was moving.
You want to walk? Yeah, I think half table will walk.
It almost flipped over, and I think if it just gone a little bit further, that's exactly what it would have done. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. Just done a video with Kieran, Yvette, Gordon, Kath and Richard. There wasn't really a vigil in the true sense. We're trying to introduce other things. Now, Kath is a very interesting character, especially right now. So we chose her to do a kind of past life, but it's almost the past life of the building, and not the person, not the individual. Can you see the building? Okay, describe it to me. Does it look similar to now, or is it different?
It's white.
Mm-hmm. Tell me what year it is, or approximately. 1876. Okay. Move forward there for me. Okay. Right. I want you with that, just with that vision that you've got there. Remember, you in that space, you link to the building. I want you to, from the building, sense the connection between this building and the church, and tell me what it is.
Just got a vision of a knife.
A knife. It's interesting. What about the knife?
The shape of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a big knife.
Why is that relevant?
No, I'm just in the knife.
Can you see if you can contact the monk for me? Can you see him there? Just ask him his name, so you get his name.
The first name. I'm stupid.
Just go with him again.
Benedict?
Benedict. Okay, I'm going to bring you out of it because you're going to too long. I want you to turn back the way you came. And go back towards that doorway of light through the tunnel. And back through the doorway of light. And when you've gone in through that doorway, can you see it? Through the door. Close it behind you. Let me know when it's firmly closed.
It felt really, really strange, and I literally felt that I was only there for a few minutes, but I had my eyes closed and my body felt heavy, and I would just listen to David's voice, listening to his instructions on what to do and what I was seeing.
However, we got a bit of a surprise really, because Gordon was there helping me energetically, he's helping with the energy around Kath, so we're kind of forming, if you like, a bubble around her, so not only is she safe, but she can feed off our energy and use it if she needs it. As we're describing what was going on, or Kath was describing what was going on with her, Gordon suddenly stood up and went for a wander. I wasn't concerned because Gordon's an extremely experienced medium and I knew he'd be absolutely fine. So I just kind of concentrated on Kath, which is what I should do because, I was in charge of her, if you like, at that point. But what was interesting for me, I couldn't see what Gordon was doing, but Yvette explained later.
Kath was put into a trance. At the same time, Kath was put. I'll show you the footage.
Can I turn the lights on?
Yeah. At the same time, Kath was put into a trance.
This is what was happening.
Was it all weird?
Yeah.
So Kath was put into a trance, was explaining what she was seeing
Kath's been sick.
from the building earlier on. She's been sick.
Alright,
And while that was going on, this was going on.
Gordon was acting it out.
Yeah. I'd gone into a trance and we did. Never mind.
It was very odd, very peculiar. It's a first for me, and I think it's probably a first for Most Haunted. But remember, it's not all about these guys leaping out, shaking chains, wearing white sheets, going boo. It's about the other ways in which they can affect us, and we can sense their presence. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. And when I go home tomorrow, I'm going to flick through a few more books for a few more techniques and other ways in which we can maybe go a bit further with all of this.
When you think about it, I had David and Gordon both holding my hands, creating this energy. I felt fine after being sick and wanted to experience more. So it was really, really interesting, and I enjoyed it and love to do it again.
I know Yvette had, she went off to do a vigil with the girls, and they were under the duvet covers, and it seemed like something was holding them under the duvet, so I can't wait to see that footage.
You're right, Kath. In Stuart's bed.
But what we're doing, have you explained what we're doing?
No.
Well, there's a sleep state called hypnopompic and hypnagogic. And I can't remember which one is which.
Hypnagogic is when you're going to sleep.
Hypnagogic is when you're going to sleep, and when you experience things or you'll wake up going, oh, what was that? And apparently it's just your sleep state and you can imagine things. Hypnopompic is when you're waking. And so we thought it'd be a good idea. We're in the room that Stuart, he had the duvet pulled off him and it went icy cold in the room. So we thought, well, we'll see what happens.
What the hell was that?
What was that? It's like a woman going.
Yeah, it was. And again. Hello.
What?
Don't worry.
What are you doing?
I don't want to be in the air. What the hell's going on? What was it? It was a groaning noise. Somebody holding me down at the end.
Oh, don't say that.
What is it? You can't pull it up. You can't pull the blanket up at the end of the bed. You can't pull it. Oh, look at that. Oh my god. Why won't it come up? I'm trying as hard as I can. I don't like it. Oh, somebody sat on top of it. What? It's getting tighter. Oh. Funny. The top.
Is there a woman here?
Something just touched my head.
Oh, no way.
Something just touched me on my head.
What?
Something just touched me on the head.
Did you hear that?
Yes. Something's walking around.
What?
Something's walking around. I swear to God.
Is the duvet still tight? Yeah. I think we're alright. That was scary. Oh, exit.
That was a bit terrifying.
Yeah, but how did we cope with it?
We stayed.
By laughing.
Hiding. We did laugh. Hiding under the blankets. But I almost felt like somebody was sat on top of us. Didn't it?
Yeah.
I have this theory that there's a guy here that was murdered by no less than Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. He wrote the book, possibly here in this place, Hand of the Baskervilles. Carl, me, Stuart, Gordon and Ian went up to what was room 17 where this figure's been seen. The man's been seen up there. And we were showered, I think it's the only word, showered with nails.
And murder. What is that?
It did frighten me, certainly the first one when it hit me. But, you know, we stayed and we don't have an explanation for it.
But both Gordon and David had said that throughout this house there's a mischievous spirit. He's a bit of a mitherer. He wants you to know he's there, so he'll tug you, he'll touch you, he'll rap on doors, he'll bang things about and throw things. And to be honest, I think he's the fella that's kept Kath and John awake at night, and I think he was the one that was throwing the nails at us. So he is definitely the one that has tried to get our attention all night. Unfortunately for my liking, he's not tried hard enough. Now saying that, I've got to sleep here tonight now. I shouldn't have said that. but I am absolutely shattered, so I probably think I'll go straight to sleep tonight anyway.
We're just wrapping up for the night now. Loads of people have had some really interesting experiences here, and it's been quite good speaking to everyone.
There's been lots of good phenomena over different times, but I think at the end there we've just started to exhaust that.
If anywhere's haunted, then this is haunted. It's an ancient inn. There's been people here for hundreds of years, and definitely some of them are making their presences felt.
I just feel all in all that this place definitely is what I would call a classic haunting, where there's visual things, sounds, footsteps going on over the place, and I can see why people would get scared a bit coming in here.
A murder.
What is that? But when you explain it to them that it's mostly just a psychic thing, then I think it would put their mind at ease. I certainly wouldn't worry sleeping for the night.
The longer you work together as a team, the better you get. I'm sure a lot of you out there will say, yeah, there's always something happening to you now. We're getting, I suppose you could say, closer spiritually. We're working more of it as a team, and there's more energy there, and we're all thinking as one. And I think that's why so much is happening.
It's a fantastic place, but thank you very much for joining us on the Most Haunted Extra, and please join us next week where, who knows, we may have caught a full manifestation of a ghost. I mean, anything's possible. Oh, well, as you know, watching this show. See you next week. Bye-bye.